Hello, 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 my fellow card gamers, board gamers, video gamers, life gamers, all the things related to games. Welcome once again to my little beautiful channel. Yes, you see that this time I'll just prepare the table, and as I was promising in the previous videos, yes. We were going to make actually an analysis, let's say like a fast analysis about the decks I've been opening. So, of course, today we're starting with the first deck I was opening from the box of Age of Ascension, which is Newtonne of Fallowmanor, okay, with the houses, Logos, Days and Mars, right? So, going back there. Thing is that, okay, making it very fast and very quick. You see that I have this separation here between creatures on this part of the board. Yes, on the other side I put the actions here on this side. This is like, let's say, my fastest way, let's say, to analyze it correctly, yeah, like to have an overall view about like how many creatures and actions and like how balanced could the deck be, yeah. So we have, let me just transfer here. So as I said, I have the actions here, creatures here. I also put, let's say, well, to make it more clear, on the right side I put the permanent cards, which are like, of course, creatures and upgrades, which in this deck it's only one. Okay, on the upper part I put also the permanent items, and in this case it are like the artifacts and the actions, as I said. So I think I'm going to, yeah, for better watching, or like to have them like in a better quality, I'm going to just cut the video now, and I'm going to zoom in, especially with the creatures. So let's go. We're back, Backstreet's back. So, thing is that, as I was saying before, I make this separation because to have a better overall overview to the deck and the things that it has, if it could be good or not. Yeah, if it will be like to go straight into the trash for a reversal deck, or if you're just going to try to sell it to someone else. So, thing is that there is actually a website which is very good, and I think that for sure you will know about this one already. That is inside this website of burger tokens, which made this like very fancy kind of a hamburger little like round token, which of course I don't have, but later I will show you which tokens I use to play Keyforge. It's actually very custom. And thing is that inside these burger tokens, with of course I'm gonna put this link down below, and they have a deck analyzer, which at the difference of the other ones, like for example the Keyforge Compendium or decks of Keyforge, just to make some examples, this one goes straight into the analysis, just as I'm going to do right now. So for example, if you put your deck, you will only see the information about, for example, how many embers does it has, if it has any synergies or anti-synergies, and also how many raw ember does it how many raw ember it has, and the quantity of creatures, quantity of actions, and just that, which is also for me like it's very nice, because it's very precise and concise information about what you need to know about the deck. And sometimes, of course, without these graphics and charts, for some people, of course, it will be like very useful, because it's easier for them to analyze like the different aspects of a deck, yeah. But with this burger tokens analyzer, it's like, let's say, yeah, it's kind of a raw, it's very simple, yet it gives you like a nice overall overview of your deck. But even though I think it's like, it will be like kind of, from my side, it will be too lazy, like just to show you like the website and just show you the things that it appear, and while I can just do this much more interactive for you. So let's just go. We have here 19 creatures, okay, plus the only upgrade from Logos that is there, that is backup copy. So the thing is that if we make overall analysis, let's say, for example, the quantity of creatures, let's say, yeah, it's kind of it's a decent number of creatures, yeah, considering 19, yeah. So thinking that, minimum of 14 creatures, at least personally talking, like 14 would be like the minimum, but the minimum creature quantity number for a deck to be like functional, yeah. So 19 is a quite decent number, but now we're going to see, of course, like how these creatures will interact. So if we go into the first row of Mars, yeah, we will see that, of course, we have these dominators, which, of course, from the first edition, which are like very nice, beefy creatures, and for defending your most precious valuables inside your deck, right? Then we have Thingdrome, which, yeah, it doesn't have too many use. In this case, this fucking dog, which, yes, of course, you know the love I have for this dog on the previous videos. Luckily, this one has, let's say, a good quantity of creatures, so you have a good possibility to use the rip ability of this one, yeah. Then we have the Mindworm, which is always like very good to have it as a kind of a good defense, yeah, like two good mini board wipe, let's say, as well as my favorite Zookeeper, right? While the Ixel Steam Rager is like, I don't have any much opinion about it, but it's a good creature overall from the second edition, like nice ability and so on. I won't discuss the abilities of them because, of course, you saw it already on my previous video. So, going to this time, we have Schuler, which is always, yeah, it's always good to have some stealing outside shadows, which is always thankful about it. Then we have Dust Imp, which, yes, is always good to have 2 Ember when it's destroyed. Then Tesmal, which is, I think, one of the important creatures, and especially with the 2 copies, yeah, we are like with the maximum limit copies for this Tesmal on this deck. What else we have? Old Yerk, which is also good. I consider it like good, not necessarily on this deck, but always good to discard 2 cards so you can cycle your deck faster. Then we have Strecky, which is a good disruption. Well, not as good as Succubus, let's say, but at least it's there. And this beautiful Gold Key Imp, like just to, if you feel like you are like in difficult times and you really need to keep up the pace from your opponent, that's your best option. So with Logos, you will see, well, also, sorry, with this we have also 7 creatures, which is very respectable, but in Logos is quite different because we have only 5 creatures. So let's say that Igor is like, okay, let's say overall, yeah, it's good also like for cycling and cycling the deck like faster, yeah. Then we have this Pip Pip, which is also a good disruption with F, because especially made for the enemy creatures after that Rip Day stun, so it's a good stop after all. Then the Zix Researcher, the same thing, mini archivings, which is, well, despite having Zookeeper, let's say that we are not going to archive that much on this deck, outside of course, Zix Researcher and Archimedes, yes. So we have then Professor Satterkin that, well, it would be nice, of course, if we have like the same quantity of these creatures in Logos, yeah, because the draw would be insane. But well, 5 creatures is like the limit to say is not that weak, let's say, in terms of reaping, yeah. So about the overall, let's say, synergy with creatures, honestly, you see that there isn't too much interaction, yeah, outside of, for example, the Dominators here, which will try to protect Tesmal and Strek, and of course, let's say Professor Satterkin, for example, or the Zookeeper, creatures that will really interrupt and disrupt the turns of your opponents, yeah. Then we have, let's say, yes, as you can see, like there is not too much interaction, let's say, between the houses. But of course, this is my overall view. And of course, I would really appreciate your comments down below, so we can just of course discuss and interact about like what can we get in all these decks. So all these decks I'm going to show you, of course, exclusively on these secret files that I'm showing. So overall, yeah, there is not you don't see like any visible combos, let's say, like nothing too overwhelming, like something boom, something like amazing that you can get. So well, that's the review on the creature. So now let's go on to the actions. So as you can see here, we only have 9 actions between the 3 houses, which is of course a low number considering the number of creatures that I got on this deck, right? And let's see. So we have in the part of logos, we have Sloppy Laugh Work and Wild Wormhole. So these two creatures, these 2 actions, let's say, random actions, like it's something that of course these ones are like very good cards. I consider like very nice cards to have. And yeah, in the part of logos it's nice, but as you remember with the creatures, like there is not too much interaction. Luckily with the Wild Wormhole, at least we don't have like let's say nuclear radiation cards that we can have as a bad surprise. Yeah, so at least we don't run, or we don't have this this risk, yeah, of playing Wormhole. So at least on this deck would be like 100% safe to just go and play it right into the deck, right? Into the board, sorry. So we have then on Mars, we have Carpet Flotsam and Mars First. Always will be good, for example, for the Oxleaks or Dominator, like to remove the stun fast, right? While the Carpet Flotsam, due to the high number of creatures that we have, this one is like, honestly, you're not going to play like too much, right? In too many situations. Yeah, unless, for example, someone board wiped the board, or for example, I don't know, you have the bad luck of not drawing too many creatures, or in one turn he just killed them all, or for example you made some hysteria. Yes, some hysteria, and of course you didn't decide to play the creatures in pro of this one, which is not worth it, honestly. So this one, let's say, it's a kind of a not a good card, let's say, for this deck at least, yeah, because I really like this card, and definitely saved me from a lot of games before, but on this deck especially, let's say, it's not that good. Then if we go on this, we have really nice cards. We have, for example, the Hysterias, I just said. We have 2 copies of it, while we have Banish, which is always thankful, just to like remove temporarily a creature from the game. A very disruptive or very annoying pain in the ass creature, yeah. And we have at the same time Pain Reaction, which is also good as a like micro board wipe, like just this damage, this very nice and sweet damage that will be able to remove these annoying creatures with low power but with huge abilities, yeah. And then Misery Exploit. Yeah, actually on this one I think I played, as far as I remember, I played like 3 times with this deck, and I just used it only once, this Misery Exploit, and it should be more because of the quantity of creatures that we have. It should be like much more, but unfortunately I didn't have the chance to use it. So I think that the actions could be, yeah, also like, let's say, nothing special, nothing that can like stand over odd decks. It's just like average actions, yeah, which won't combine too much, let's say, with the creatures, right? So we go now for the artifacts, and finally we're going to give this verdict of this deck. And now is the time when you are wondering, where is my Carlo Phantom Maverick on this deck? Yes, 7 artifacts, 4 of them from Logos and 3 of them from Mars. And talking about Logos, I think that these artifacts are like, wow, are like really, let me just move the camera just a little bit now. Yes, I think that's much better. So watching these artifacts are like actually very good, especially the Sismo Entangler, where it's like amazing effect, which is like can be it can take like much longer, very much longer, like for the other players to forge the keys. Then we have Library of Bubble, which when it's like, let's say, starting from 2 copies will be like more useful, yeah, but from 1 is like okay, that's overall let's say like just an average one, yeah, it doesn't have like a big effect, but sometimes it can save you. So next one is Fetch Drones, which is also very nice, but at the same time it's very random, yeah, because it's like you need to discard the top cards and like what must be at least one from logos, yeah, to capture 2 from your opponent, capture 2 amber. So of course my historic says that every time I played this card I never was able like to capture from my opponents. So yes, these are like part of the cards of the randomness of Keyforge, which makes it at times so nice and so tasty, and at the other times so yes, like that. Then we have Scientifical Hack, which is for the other cards, like if you want to play like this card in Mars, either in Mars or Logos, would be of course very nice. But with the Mars cards, let's say with the Mars artifact, it's not too much to do, yeah. But sometimes it can make some good surprises. Now with Mars, we have this very special Amber Conduction unit, right? We have Invasion Portal from the first edition, and then we have Custom Virus, also from the same edition. Custom Virus can be useful, thinking that we have in Logos some human creatures, for example, we have some robots, we have imps, beasts, so yeah, it can be useful sometimes, but at the same time it might be, let's say, situational in most of cases, yeah. I think that honestly, like in all my Keyforge time, I think I played it independently of the deck. I think I played it twice, 3 times at most. So yeah, it's very situational, but sometimes, especially when you're playing against Sanctum, for example, it could be I think it's a good support, especially by these 2 will like disrupt a lot the turns from your opponents, which is nice. Also this one, but this one of course, as we said before, very random, yes. And Scientifical Hack also like to play these ones in other turns, which will be also very nice, especially Sismo Entangler, if you want to avoid this huge raping from your opponent. And yeah, that's it. So now we go to the final verdict of this deck. So for the verdict of this deck, let's say that it doesn't stand over any other deck. Let's say it's just like an average deck. Of course it can give you some kind of board control, right, due to the number of creatures, to the high number of creatures that we have. But regarding the actions, we don't have like too many things to defend ourselves in the case that, for example, you receive like a huge board wipe, or let's say that someone plays like disruptions, like or not playing creatures, for example. It is something that it doesn't have too many defenses, let's say, yeah. So as I said before, it's like a good control on the board, yeah, and for the creatures and because of the artifacts as well. But overall, just an average deck. So I think if we have to put a scale from 1 to 10, I would give this one between, I think, 5. Let's just make it 5. So yeah, that's it. That's all for this analysis, as you see. So yeah, that's it, guys, for today. And I see you on the next secret file of Keyforge. So please like the button, subscribe, hit that bell button as well, and ciao, 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 ciao.